Hello, I'm Alex with JETSTREAM ATD, and here today I want to represent you model FOXTROT, which I'm applying for FAA approval for Advanced Aviation Training Device. Model FOXTROT consists of high-performance computer, visual system of three 27-inch monitors for 180 degrees view, avionics and instruments panel. At this time we have G1000 suite right here. However, it can be replaced with the steam gauges overlay. Underneath this overlay there is a wide monitor showing all the information. I will show that in just a few minutes. We have a microphone for the ATC operations using Pilot Edge, if that would be the choice for training session. Right here we have ignition switch, switches, master avionics, and right underneath it, handbrake. The handbrake operates just as in real airplane Cessna 172. It is pull to disengage, so it is pull and turn to engage, push and turn to disengage. Oh, that's how it is. Right here we have a yoke. It is honeycomb aeronautical with the push to talk button, with the autopilot disengage button, ailerons and elevator trim buttons, which are not going to be used in some Cessnas. Right here we have throttles. If we're using carbureted engine Cessnas, we have carb hit, pull, push, throttle, pull and push, as well as mixture, pull, push and pull. Elevators, flaps, I apologize, 3 position, full, 20, 10 degrees and full up, as well as elevator pitch trim. All right. Right underneath, down below, just as in real airplane, there is a fuel selector for the left tanks, both right tanks, right here. So whenever I would decide to train for the emergencies in which I need to operate fuel selector, that would replicate my actions in real airplane when I have to reach down there to change my selections of the tanks. JETSTREAM ATD model FOXTROT replicates Cessna 172 cockpit with all the controls in proper locations. And one more thing, if we're using fuel injected engines, then we don't need carb hit control. At that time we will just using a cover, and then we will be left with the throttle and mixture controls. No carb hit would be on our way. So this is how it is, how it looks, and let me start it and show you how to operate it. With the JETSTREAM ATD model FOXTROT, adjustable seat is used. We can adjust height, we can go all the way down with this lever, as well as go all the way up, and that is in addition to adjustable stands. We have lean back, lean forward adjustments, as well as adjustable forward position and aft position as well. Operates in the very same way as the pilot seat operated in Cessna 172 with lock in place mechanism, and easy to use. Get in, adjust your position, enjoy your training. Alright, in order to start FOXTROT, we just turn on the PC and give it a few seconds. So the interesting thing is this overlay. We will start. I will start it up, demonstrate it, and then we'll probably replace it to steam gauges, just for demonstration purposes. However, I will fly both configurations today, and here we are. Once computer is started, all we need to do, we need to start FS launcher, which will automatically detect which avionics set we use today. And we have to check everything is connected, all the USBs connected, everything is all right. We launch panel. Immediately after I launch panel, the X-plane would load itself as well. At this time, we have standby instruments up and running, and G1000, once we are in airplane and we turn them on, a picture would be here. But let's say, for demonstration purposes, we decided to fly Cessna 172 November with steam gauges, or 172S Sierra with steam gauges. All we need to do is to replace the overlay. So we would quit X-plane just to avoid any misunderstandings with the PC, and we take this overlay out and away. This is how the overlay looks itself: the front panel, back to front. Okay. Here is steam gauges overlay with the same idea. We have audio panel, GNS 530 replica, secondary radio and comm, navigation. We have transponder, and we have autopilot. All the buttons and all the knobs are operated just as in real life with the secondary knobs, as well as the attitude indicator knobs, airspeed, and directional gyro. Okay, let's install it. And we have to secure it. To install it and secure it. Okay. Adjust seat position. Let's start FS launcher once again. We go to shut down the previous configuration. Signal is here. Okay, we're good. And launch. Again, X-plane starts as well. And right here we can see all the gauges available, instruments and avionics ready to go. So let's say we will start new flight. We will choose Cessna 172 November. We'll make sure we have weight, balance, and fuel set. Today I will be flying myself, so let's say solo flight, pilot, 196 pounds with all the clothing about right. Co-pilot is not with us, no passengers today. Baggage, let's say we will take around 20 pounds of baggage. And let's make sure we have full fuel tanks. All right, so we have about 1961 pounds. Done. Good. We will choose airport 58 November, which is Regal in Palmyra, PA. Weather, let's use clear weather for now. And date April 13. That's good. Daytime. Let's start flight. It will load for a couple seconds. After explain loaded, we will have confirmation message in the right top corner of the screen, checking if we have all the hardware and if okay, yeah, frame rate check, passed, flight control hardware found, flight training approved. Okay, we can begin our flight training. If anything happens, let's say some of the controls would be in op or disconnected for any reason, the message will show us that control hardware not found, further training not approved. And again, as we are using carbureted Cessna 172 November today, I need my carburetor hit, so I will take down cover, place it elsewhere. And here we are, ready to start training. Okay, here we are, and at Regal Airport, 5-8 November, Palmyra, Pennsylvania, flying Cessna 172 November today, steam gauges with 5 Garmin GNS 530. We can start instructor station. It is connected. Okay, connect. All right. JETSTREAM ATD model FOXTROT allows me to have full functional flight. So let's say today, for demonstration purposes, we will fly ILS to Lancaster Regional in order to demonstrate all the capabilities and items in a checklist in Advisory Circular 61-136B. All right, so in order to show all the functionality and capabilities, we will fly from 5-8 November, Regal Field, Palmyra, Pennsylvania, to Lancaster Regional. It is Kilo Lima November Sierra. And let's do our nav or ILS. Let's do ILS. ILS for runway 8. Here we have instructor operation station. Let's take care of the weather. For demonstration purposes, we will go into clouds and visibility unrestricted. However, let's say winds. Let's adjust some winds. So at Regal we have runway 3113. Let's adjust for some crosswind, thus winds 220, winds 220. So that's how I can adjust it right here. Winds 220. Okay. Back to 220. And let's say 5 knots. That would be enough to demonstrate. Okay, and we can put it on the surface. All right, so winds 220 at 5 knots. That would be good enough. We can adjust some clouds. So stratus, cumulus, cumulonimbus, atmosphere, surface, we can make it wet, snowy. All right, we have snow, icy and snowy. We can do it more wet, and so on. All right, let's keep it dry as well as time. All right, let's go to map. So in this case, we have a map which shows all the airways, waypoints, airports. Here is our airplane on a map. And well, let's say GLS, we don't have GLS right here. However, we would be flying to Lancaster Regional. It's right here. And it shows us glide slope and ILS for we have runway 8 right here. We will see it on a graph, and that's how we will see how well am I doing approaching Lancaster Regional. We'll put instructor station there. Okay, after setting up trainer, we don't need to use keyboard or mouse anymore. It's everything here. As we are in a cockpit, the pre-flight inspection is complete. We have fuel, we have oil, and at this time we will get for the starting engine checklist. Here I have my checklist cheat sheet. Okay, so let's do it. Throttle, open 1/4 inch, mixture, reach, carb hit, cold, prime as required. We have it, so we will be good. Auxiliary fuel pump on. Prop area, it's clear. Master switch on. Master switch on. Beacon on. Ignition to the start. Right, left, both, start. Engine start. RPM 1000 RPM. Oil pressure in green, good. Temperature is about to rise. Ampere meter okay. Vacuum in green. Fuel flow low. EGT low. Fuel there. Fuel full. Okay. Oil pressure checked. Fuel pump check. Fuel pump off. Avionics master switch. Avionics on. Radios on. Transponder standby. Transponder standby. Flaps up. Let's check how they work. Flaps full. Ampere meter went down. We can check with the view from the outside. Flaps up. Flaps up. Okay. Meter checked. Heading indicator set. Okay, so we have magnetic compass on the dashboard, as well as magnetic compass indications right here, and we see it at 199. Okay, let's do 199. Confirmed. Okay. ATS-A was ASOS. We checked before the flight. Altimeter set. It is 480. It is 480 feet. It is set. Autopilot. Engage. Disengage. Flight controls. We would be moving flight controls. We can check how they are moving from the outside. And rudder. Good. Good. Departure, taxi. We will avoid that right at this moment. However, you know what, 1228. So COM 1, 1228. That's our CTAF at Regal. I will still be using that frequency. However, today, for the demonstration purposes, I would Probably not doing those radio calls. However, I have a habit, I do them. Okay, starting engine checklist complete. Before takeoff is the next one. Disengage handbrake. Taxiing. Turning to the right. Brake check coming in 3, 2, 1. Brakes are good. Rego traffic, Skyhawk 2844 for back, taxiing to an active runway, Rego traffic. I will stop at the runway safety area, do the before takeoff and run up checklist.
Approaching runway 1331.
Handbrake engage. All right. Before takeoff checklist, cabin doors closed and locked, seats and belts adjust and locked, flight controls free and correct, instruments set. Okay. Okay, good. All right. Fuel quantity, fuel shut off valve on. Mixture reach, fuel selector valve both. Elevator trim set for takeoff. So we have elevator trim indicator right here. We make sure it is set for takeoff. Okay. And elevator trim throttle. Okay. 1,700 RPM. 1,700 RPM. It's set. Magnetos. Left. Both. Right. Both. Magnetos are okay. Suction check. Suction in the green, 5.5. Engine instruments, fuel full. Pressure good, temp good. Ampermeter good, vacuum good. Ammeter checked. Mixture set for density altitude. Carb hit on. Carb hit. 90 RPMs drop. Carb hit off. Initiator panel clear. Throttle 1000 RPM. Okay. Radius. Okay, throttle friction lock adjusted. Strobe lights on. Radius avionics set. We're set for 1228. That is the CTAF. We will be flying towards the Lancaster regional, and we will be using 4 flights as well. So let's take Lancaster direct to. However, we would be flying ILS runway 8 today. Let's do that trick. We go to procedure, approach, ILS localizer runway 08. All right, so in order to fly localizer, we will have to fly towards on the radius 189. So the frequency is 114.6 on the VOR. Let's go that. So 1146. 114.6. 1146, and we would be flying radio 189. We need 189. 189. Okay. And then flying radio 189, we would intercept ILS runway 8, which has a frequency of 1087. 1087 is on the secondary VOR. We just need to check if everything is set correct. Everything is set correct. Good. Everything is set. Okay. So first task is to take off and intercept radio 189 on the VOR1, and then after that intercept localizer runway 8. Well, let's put 1087 on the secondary radio. 1087 on the secondary. Good. It's active. Okay, radios are set. Okay. Autopilot off. Flaps set for takeoff, 0 degrees. Parking brake released. Windows closed. Next would be takeoff checklist.
Approaching runway 1331. Entered runway 1331.
All right. Handbrake engaged. Takeoff checklist. Flaps up. Carb hit cold. Transponder on altitude. Transponder on altitude. 1000 RPM. Handbrakes on. Okay. Transponder on altitude. Trim set for takeoff. It's set for takeoff. Throttle full. Tach oil. Airspeed check on the run. Okay. Rigo traffic, Skyhawk 284 focal back, departing runway 31 westbound. Rigo traffic. It's clear. Handbrake is off. All lights on. Land, taxi, nav.
Approaching runway 31. Entered runway 31. 1,800 feet remaining.
We will do short field takeoff as Rigo airfield is 1,960 feet. So we do full power. We do 2,000. Brakes off. Full power. Right rudder. Crosswind controls. Airspeed alive. Everything in green. Rotate. VX. We will go VY. Speed, nose down. All right. 74, 75, 80 knots. We can climb. I will climb 3,000 feet. Watching the VOR. Okay, so we have deviation on the VOR while still climbing. Cruise climb 80 miles per hour, 80 knots per hour. Apologize. Let's intercept radio 189 on the VOR. will take heading 150 until I intercept radial 189. We're getting closer. (3,000 feet). Okay, 3,000 feet. Let's work out pitch, throttle, trim. So here we have pitch. Let's trim it a little bit. Radio intercepted. It gets a bit busy sometimes. Okay. So we're doing 2,600 RPM, little high. At this time we are reaching 120 knots, which is realistical. We intercepted radius 189, and we will be proceeding at this heading until we intercept localizer runway 8 at Lancaster Regional. In a checklist, there are a few things about stalls and turns. Let me demonstrate stalls. Okay, so we will get into slow flight. RPM 2000. Actually, I will expedite those things and I will go carb hit on. 1,500 RPM. Maintain altitude. Wide arc. Flaps 10. Flaps 20. Flaps 30. Pull yoke. Maintain altitude. Stall alarm. Rudder. Alright, power idle. Doesn't want to stall, huh? Recovery, carb hit, full power, flaps 20, rest, descent, keep climbing, speed goes up, 10, flaps full up, get back to 3,000 feet. All right, we are still on a good track. Let's do power on stalls. Okay, carb hit on. I will lose some speed. All right, power on stalls, so 60, 65 knots. carpet on, mixture reach, flaps up. We will imitate now take off, so power on stall. We will use not 100% of a power, a little less. And here we climb. Climb. Stall warning. Pull, pull, pull yoke. Stall. Full power. Wings level. Slowly pull. Maintain speed. Get back 3,000 feet. All right, recovered 3,000 feet, little right from the radio. Okay, turns. Let's do normal turns for the purpose of this demonstration. We know we don't have any traffic in FORFlight, and we have actually all the traffic turned off, so let's do normal turns. At 3,100 feet, we'll begin normal 180-degree turn at 110 knots. Maintain coordination. (20 degrees at this time, 20 degrees bank. Maintain altitude, maintain coordination. All right. We are at 10 degrees. You can see coordinated magnetic compass mistakes, and it's there. Okay, let's do 180 degrees steep turn to the right at 3,100 at 110 knots. Recovered 3,100. I lost a little bit of a speed. Okay. I need to intercept VOR radial 189. I'm a little bit to left. Okay. Let's say, let me demonstrate how the instructor station operates here and the functions. By the way, that will give me a chance to demonstrate autopilot. I will level at 3,000. Okay, 3,000 level. RPM, let's go 2,400. Okay, and let's align heading with our current heading. At this time, I go with the autopilot on. Heading, altitude at 3,000, maintain it this way. We are still on the radio, a little bit left from it, and we start reading localizer on the nav2. After we intercept localizer, we have to take course 077. Meanwhile, I want to demonstrate what the instructor session can do. We can put session on pause. We can rewind. We can play it. We can fast forward. We can put it on pause again. We can continue flying. Here is our track, and that's how it is. We can go PFD. So instructor sees the primary flight display. We can turn it off. We can see map only or GLS. Okay. Let's get back to it. Let's watch VORs. We have to intercept localizer soon, so I would be watching the nav2 and I would be ready to change heading to 077 to intercept glide path and slope as well. And I guess I saw movement of the arrow on the nav2. Yes, it's moving. So nav2 is moving. We are intercepting the localizer. So heading now 077 with the heading knob like this. Let's intercept it. Okay, so at this time we are at Delic, and we have to descend 2,500. Thus, we would take an autopilot. We will do that with autopilot. Altitude 2,500, arm, and vertical speed down. Let's go 500 feet a minute. We are to the right. Let's go with the localizer on nav1. Localizer on nav1, we are to the right and we are below. Glide slope. Let's go. Oh, that's my mistake. This is heading. I don't want to mess up with the directional gyro. Let's intercept. We're still a little bit
Cross Delta in 6.2 miles.
to the right from the center line. We'll intercept it. For purposes, we are not using ATC just now. We are at 2,500 feet. (2,400 RPMs), 115 knots speed. Okay. Let's go heading to 778. Let's go to 80. Now I'm to the left. I have to intercept. I'm still working on it, so my execution might not be the perfect, but I hope it is fine for demonstration. You probably should put heading to 90 at this time. We are still under the glide slope. This time I am still flying autopilot, but just to show how the autopilot works flawlessly. And we are almost to intercept glide slope and glide path as well. Oh, let's disengage autopilot. Autopilot disengaged. And let me follow localizer to the runway. Okay, that's gotta go a little down. I'm on a glide slope, and I will just keep those arrows in the middle. Okay, I'm a little too fast as well. I need to be a little bit higher and a little to the left. So let's say the instructor will decide to make this harder to me, so he could go to weather and let's say make it, let's see, clouds, and let's do all right. Or let's say my instructor would decide to test me and give me IFR. That makes life really hard, I have to say, but well, here we have
2 mile final runway 08.
IFR. That would be hard. I am not okay. Carburetor beta hit. Carb hit on. So at this time, X-plane helped me, saying carburetor I suspected. I have to disengage that. I am watching my attitude indicator. I have to get back on glide path.
500.
So for demonstration purposes, I went into IFR, and to be honest, not being IFR rated. However, this is training device, so that's good to demonstrate why non-IFR rated pilots should not fly VFR into IMC. However, I'm afraid I could screw my demonstration of the ILS approach, but I will try to do best. Let's see what happens. I'm trying to intercept. Okay. Probably I'm right over the runway. I'm very close. Glide slope. Glide path. I am probably right over it. And here we are. And there is the runway. Runway in sight. I got visuals on the right runway. Carb hit on. Throttle to idle, speed to high. We have long runway. I will try to land, and I will be landing no flaps at this time for demonstration purposes. Speed 80. All right, landed. We will slow down using brakes, and we will be leaving active runway. Brakes, handbrake engaged. Okay, wow, that was a little tougher and not as I planned. I did not plan to use instructor operation with the IFR Cat 1, and I thought it would be a good idea. By the end of the flight, I still managed to keep an eye on the VOR good enough to bring me next to a runway safely enough. Carbureted icing suspected. Increase throttle or add carb heat to prevent icing in the carburetor. This is a message from the software. I think this is instructor's job to say that, so I will check. Don't show this again. Understood. This won't happen again, and that is solely my job, the student in training job, to remember about the carb heat temperatures and using the carb heat. This is a very good lesson. Again, not according to a plan, but a good lesson even just during the demonstration. I used the IFR on the instructor's operation station during the ILS approach. Managed to land safely enough, no flaps. So this was also a demonstration for no flaps landing. What I will do next, I will replace steam gauges overlay for the G1000 overlay, and as long as we did ILS approach, the next one would be our nav approach to prove that JETSTREAM ATD model FOXTROT meets and exceeds requirements of 61-136 Bravo function and maneuvers checklist. So let's do that. Again, in order to replace overlays, it is recommended to turn everything off, and again, we can do that with the instructor's station. We have option quit explain, and training session is ended just like that. Okay, I will shut down this overlay. Okay, it is shut down for flight. I don't need it now. Okay, so I will take this out and away. Okay, thank you, steam gauges. And here we are with the G1000. Needs to be secured. Okay, good enough. Let's refresh USB connection. Let's restart trainer. It has Garmin G1000, and let's launch panel along with the X-plane, of course. Let's do the very same. 5-8 November, Regal Airfield. Except this time, okay, the same position to start, except this time I will choose Cessna Skyhawk G1000. And the same time, same weather, start flight. Again, this time we're flying fuel injected Cessna. We don't need carb heat anymore. I will use the cover. That's it. We don't have carb heat lever anymore. Throttle, mixture. That's what we have. And I will redo everything here. Okay. Frame rate check passed. Flight control hardware found. Flight training approved. That's the message we have on the screen. Understood. And all right, here we are in Cessna 172 Sierra G1000 at Regal Airfield Airport. And this time I will demonstrate the rest of functions and maneuvers list. And we will do RNAV runway 8 in Lancaster Regional. Beacon on. Mixture. Throttle. Handbrake engaged. Right, left, both. Start. Engine start. 1000 RPM. We have all the information on the primary flight display this time. Okay. Avionics on. Good. We have it all good. I'll go with all lights on at this time. This time, just to make it less time consuming, I will get to flying right away. So starting engine checklist complete. We have fuel, oil good, EGT there, vacuum pump in green. We have full fuel tanks. All systems seems to be good. We have 1228. Transponder, we would go to altitude. Okay, transponder on altitude. And the starting engine checklist complete. Before takeoff, run-up checklist is next. Handbrake disengaged. We begin taxiing. Brakes check. 3, 2, 1. Brakes good. Regal traffic, Skyhawk 284 focal back, taxiing towards active runway. Regal traffic. We will have a little of a crosswind in order to demonstrate crosswind effects. So we will be using crosswind correction on the takeoff and during the taxi phase. Crosswind.
Approaching runway 1331.
Brakes. Handbrake engaged, 1000 RPM. Run-up checklist, parking brake, cabin doors, seats and belts, adjust and lock it, flight controls, free and correct. 4. Again, we can check that from the outside. And rudder good. Mixture reach, fuel selector, valve both. Elevator trim set for takeoff. Alright, set for takeoff. Okay. Trim magnetos. 1700 RPM. Let's do it. 1700. Left. Okay. Right. Okay. Back to both. No carb hit this time. Engine instruments, green, 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 vacuum, good. Throttle idle. We do hold idle. Throttle 1000. Okay, all lights on at this time. Radios avionics set. Okay. So we have 1228 for the Regal CTAF. And then we are going Lancaster. Let's go direct. Let's choose Lancaster Regional, which is Kilo, Lima, November, Sierra. Lancaster, okay. Activate. Let's go procedures. Let's select approach. Let's select RNAV runway 8 GPS LPV. Enter. We will use initial fix as MAVB. Enter. And activate. We will check flight plan. We have MAVB. All right, that's where we're going, and MAVB is 10 miles away at 3,500 feet. So we would set altitude at 3,500 feet. Okay. Radios are set for the RNAV Lancaster runway 8. Run up checklist, back to it. Avionics set, autopilot off, flaps set for takeoff 0, parking brake released, windows closed. Okay, next one is take off. We have clear.
Approaching runway 13. Entered runway 13. 31.
We'll be departing runway 31. We go traffic Skyhawk 284 focal back taxiing runway 31.
Approaching runway 31.
Handbrake on before takeoff, parking brake set, cabin doors closed, seats and seat belts adjusted, flight controls free and correct, instruments set, 1000 RPM, please. All right, altitude good. Let's keep going. Fuel quantity check. Fuel shut off off. Okay. Mixture reach. Fuel selector on both. Elevator trim set for takeoff. Set. All right. That's all checked. Flaps up. Carb hit none. Not here. Transponder on altitude. Let's check it. Transponder on altitude. Good. Trim set for takeoff. True. Throttle. Okay. Good. Before takeoff checklist complete. Handbrake disengaged. Regal traffic Skyhawk 284 focal back departing runway 31 westbound.
Approaching runway 31. Entered
Regal
runway
traffic.
31. 1,800 feet remaining.
We will do short field takeoff. Brakes on. 2,000 RPM. Brakes off, full power. Rudder. Crosswind correction. Green, green, airspeed alive. Wow. Rotate. Okay. It is a little bumpy and turbulent here today. Alright, we don't need an outside view. Let's climb VY, 74 miles per hour. Excuse me, knots per hour. 74 knots. Let's climb out, and desired track is 204. Cancel distractions. I will climb 3,500, and I would be leaving this turbulent area hopefully soon. So during this demonstrational flight, I will also demonstrate holding pattern. So we will do missed approach, and we will be heading to hold pattern. At this time though, I will intercept vector to map B at 3,500. I'm using HSI to figure out my deviation from course needed. It is terribly bumpy. Alright, estimated time en route to MAVB is 7 minutes at this time. However, once we reach 3,500, we will get more speed. So realistically, it's less than that. That's how terrible it is, and I hope that I'll get away from that. Let's say I would decide to engage autopilot at this time. We are 1,000 feet away from our target altitude. Let's try to engage autopilot in such conditions. Autopilot engaged, nav, and let's go flight level change, and let's choose it at cruise climb speed of 80. Okay, flight level change at 80. We have our flight director all over the place, but it's better now. Okay, 500 feet more to go. Cruise climb 80 knots, and we are on the right track. Okay, for flight active, all instruments in green. We will lean it just a little bit. We're still on climb. Alright, we reached altitude, and right now we are on the way to MAVB. After which, right here we see after MAVB there would be Dalek, and Dalek, if I got it right, is okay, 3,000 feet. So after MAVB, I would descend 3,000 feet. Upon reachment to Dalek, I will begin descent 2,500 feet and begin approach. After that, today's training will include missed approach and holding pattern. Okay, whole system seems to be work fine. 3,500 feet. So this time, while we are enjoying autopilot, I have engine start and taxi and brake operation checked, run up and power plant checks, acceleration characteristics. You see that they are extremely close. At this time, we are doing 2,600 RPMs, doing 126 through airspeed, just as it would be happening in real life. Effect of crosswind, it is tremendous effects this time in this section. Instruments, flap operations is checked. In-flight operation, normal and max performance. I hoped I showed enough during the VX and VY after takeoff. Cruise, correct performance characteristics. Here we have 123, 125 knots while doing 2600 RPM. Normal and steep turns, I checked that during the previous flight. Approach to stalls in takeoff, cruise, and approach and landing configurations is what I showed just previously, flying 172 November. Okay, fuel selector function. While we are here enjoying autopilot, let me show fuel selector function. Here we are showing the fuel selector, and I will operate the fuel selector, which is down here, left, both, right, back to both. Okay, thanks to autopilot. And we are approaching MAV B. Let's make sure that autopilot would act correctly. And now MAV B, we should turn left to heading 169, which is happening, and the altitude should be 3000. We're going on altitude 3000. We will choose this time not a flight level change, but vertical speed, and we'll choose 500 feet per minute. We begin descent. Yeah, I went a little extreme with the weather, with the wind direction and speed today. We're getting too fast, over 2600 something RPM, so I will pull back a little on the throttle. Okay, so cruise phase is covered. Approach normal with and without flaps. Good. So previously I landed without flaps. This time I would be landing with flaps. Okay. Single engine approach and landing, not mine. Best glide, no power, and landings. I will show that. Instrument approaches. We already did iOS previously, so GPS is this time. Okay, good. Approach and landing roll braking operation. That's shown before, and I will make sure to show it again. Airplane and power plant system, electrical, mechanical, hydraulics, as well as flaps, the fuel selector, oil temp and pressure, shown right here, operated as intended, as supposed to be. And all landing gear is not applicable to JETSTREAM ATD model FOXTROT. It is Cessna 172. It's fixed landing gear. Okay. Flight management and guidance system, 2-axis autopilot as shown on the stim gauges before, and as shown in 172 Sierra with G1000. Here we are actually enjoying autopilot on an extremely bumpy day. We are approaching Dalek in 40 seconds. Let's make sure that autopilot would do what it's programmed to do. Flight director and system displays are right here. Let's say we want to make sure the display backup works. Good. So display backup button. Everything works as intended. Here we are turning to the left. Okay. Now the altitude for the final approach fix at Polku is 2,500 feet. Let's do 2,500 vertical speed, 500 feet per minute. We would be approaching Polku. RNAV runway 8, Lancaster Regional. Okay. Let's continue with the flight management and guidance system, navigation systems and optional display configurations, stall warning systems, avoidance as shown before. And let's try it with the 172 Sierra G1000. I will disengage autopilot and do something silly. Let's say I would, for whatever reason, stall the airplane. Let's hear stall alarms. Okay, let's stall it. Okay. Wings level, recover. Okay. Recovered from the stall. Let's try to engage autopilot back again. Autopilot, nav, okay, good. And vertical speed. We're aiming for 2,500 feet. And we're approaching Polku. We can actually go ahead and do approach. Okay, we have indication. Autopilot will switch to approach. Okay, airborne procedures such as holding coming up right after missed approach. Uncoordinated turns, slipping and skidding demonstration I will do on the way to holding pattern. Configuration of, as well as configuration and power changes, and compass turns and appropriate errors. Okay, that's coming up. As well as I will provide a video of malfunctions. So can simulate the following equipment or system failures: alternator, generator, vacuum pump, gyroscopic, pitot-static, electronic flight deck display malfunctions, and a landing gear. All those malfunctions I will also demonstrate shortly after completing this flight, as well as covering everything else on independent instructor station requirements. And after that, functions and maneuvers checklist as in Advisory Circular 61-136B would be covered. Alright, at this time we are going to ZX, and we actually already intercepted glide path. We are yet a little bit too fast. I will take care of that shortly. All instruments are in green. Before landing checklist, fuel selector on, mixture full reach, seat belts fastened, before landing checklist complete, flight instruments set, radius checked, 80s. We're running custom weather, mixture reach, landing lights on.
2 mile final runway 08.
I don't believe I actually customized the weather that much. It is so much worse
500.
than I set it up for, but let's take a challenge. Autopilot disengaged. It is a very, very bumpy and good excuse to do missed approach, to be honest. Terrible. Flaps 20. Let's try to do touch and down before missed approach. That's tough landing. Okay, landed. Flaps up. Okay. Missed approach. Watch airspeed. We're going for, oh, that is very, very, very challenging. Full throttle, we're good. Okay, missed approach. We're going to the left. Our next waypoint is Coops. And that would be our holding. And we will go 3,000 feet. Let's see if autopilot would be able to engage. Yes, okay, so autopilot in nav mode, in flight level change at 80 knots. We're heading to Coops. We are about to stay in hold. All in green. Okay, let's see, we have autopilot disengaged. Let's fight this challenge. have 3,000 feet. We're heading to cups for holding. It is extremely challenging. Okay. Cruise checklist, pitch set, throttle as required, 2500 RPM at this time, trim. Okay, it's trimmed. And mixture, let's adjust mixture. Okay, cruise checklist complete. Here I have for flight with the maps and with the plates for Lancaster, as well as hold, and as well as an multifunctional flight display. Okay, I'm approaching hold.
Class Delta in 6.5 miles.
All right, now I will hold parallel at 348. That is quite a challenge. Okay, I will begin turn around for 168. And try to maintain 3,000. Let's take 3,000 feet. To be honest, it is absolutely ridiculously bumpy, but why not? Using aviation training device, we can allow that. Okay, now I'm heading to Coops. $168. Alright, I lost track of altitude, getting back 3,000 feet. Everything is a little bit extreme. Okay, we got Coops. I will begin turn around, heading 348. Maintain control. And we're talking 348. And start. Okay, I started timer. So here I am, successfully established in hold. Okay, so here I am. I decided to stop that extreme, absolutely ridiculous bumpiness. And here is a minute, so I will be returning back to 168. Okay, so that was very challenging, to be honest, especially hand flying, but well, it was good training. I can imagine it is much worse in real airplane, in real world. I'm a little too high. I will descend 3,000 feet and I will intercept and maintain 168 for the course. 68. Maintain 3000. Good. All right, here we are in holding pattern for 2 times this time, and let's say Lancaster Regional. Let's say we are cleared for the RNAV approach runway 8. We will open the plan. We'll take, let's say, Polku and head to the Polku. Okay. Here we have, let's turn on flight director. Okay, here we have flight director active. Again, the plate says Polku is 2,500, so I would descend 2,500 and head to Polku. And 2,500 feet. We are approaching Polku. We are just 2 minutes away, maintaining 2,500 feet. And the plan is to approach and land runway 8 using RNAV approach. This time I have GPS glide slope, which I actually will begin to follow. Let's try to operate autopilot. Autopilot, nav, confirmed, we have autopilot. Let's do approach. No, something is wrong. Let's do vertical speed. Okay, we have altitude a bit too high. Let's go vertical speed. Decrease. Alright, we are intercepted glide path.
Class Delta in 2.3 miles.
And here we have Lancaster Regional just in front of us. We're on the glide slope, on the glide path. Green, 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 green. Mixture full reach, both. All lights on.
Mile final runway 08.
Okay, 2 mile final. Autopilot off. On a glide slope. Speed under 85, flaps 10, flaps 20, full flaps. back on the glide slope. Airspeed. Flaps up. Okay, here we are landed at Lancaster Regional off an active runway. Let's taxi it back to parking.
Approaching runway 1331.
Let's say that we are cleared to cross 3113 at Delta.
Entered runway 1331.
And here we are in parking. All right, here we are. Handbrake engaged. Avionics radios off. Mixture cut off. All lights are off. Master off. Ignition off. Thanks for being with me during this flight. This is the flight in 172 Sierra with G1000. We already made 172 November before this with steam gauges. Let me go really quick through the functions and maneuvers checklist, see what else I might need to cover, and we'll get it all wrapped up. Thank you. Hello. In this final video part, I wanna cover a few things, such as none covered before uncoordinated turns, slipping and skidding. I will demonstrate them on skidding would be on base to final, the most dangerous, which can kill the pilot. And I will successfully recover from skid and turn. And after that, I would do slipping forward to end. And before that, on a traffic pattern, I will demonstrate a simulation of following equipment or system failures through the instructor's operation station as alternator or generator failure. I will also demonstrate vacuum pump pressure failure and associated flight instrument failures, gyro flight instrument failures, pitot-static system malfunction, electronic flight deck display malfunctions, and that would be planned for this short portion of the video. Okay, so oh yeah, of course we will I will also demonstrate that instructor's operation station can invoke instrument or equipment failures by the fact of introducing those failures. Okay, let's get to it. We are again at 5-8 November, Regal Airport, 1000 960 feet to take off. We have a crosswind, and let's begin. Handbrake off, everything on. Okay, we are good to go. I actually configured the airplane and everything ready to go, so let me start my takeoff roll. Crosswind correction, full throttle, right rudder, maintain center line, airspeed alive, all in green, rotate. Oh yeah. Okay, so again, I put quite extreme weather conditions for this flight. Oh, I hope that I can handle this challenge. VY. All right, meanwhile, while we are climbing out, trying to hold VY, you know what? I will go and make weather good with the instructor's operation station. So we go ceiling and visibility okay. That makes it so much easier to demonstrate all the rest of planned failures and maneuvers. I will get back to failure screen, and at this time we have 27.5 volts, and here comes generator failure. Okay, we have 24.500. Okay, we have some time until our battery will die, so we have all the avionics yet, but indications are that we have 0 zeros. Okay. Let's do instruments. Let's check here. Okay, so let's do pitot-static system. We have that in the checkbox, and let's go pitot tube 1 blockage. And here we have acceleration. All right, let's do pitot-static. Okay, here are we climbing. We are effectively climbing, but we have altitude and airspeed frozen as well on the standby. Let's say the standby should be okay. We are actually approaching stall in just a little bit, but we still have frozen altitude and airspeed, and both on the standby, by the way, too, because of the static port errors. Stall warning, still dead on the airspeed and altitude. Let's see, stall, into spin, entered spin, recovery. Okay, recovered. We don't have any airspeed. We have airspeed and altitude indications. They are unreliable. Let's fix them. Okay, static port blockage fixed. We are having our readings back again. Okay. We can fail GPSs, nav radios, nav 1 radio, nav 2 radio. We have reds right there. So let's see, COM 1, COM 2, COMs are out, and red crosses placed instead of them. Okay. Let's talk about oil pressure. So oil pressure and oil temperatures. So oil temperature is 202 at this time and pressure 80. Let's affect oil pressure. Oil pressure is failed. Let's do oil temp. Is failed, so indications are now unreliable and they just stuck. On the G1000 we can affect as well. And at this time we are running with the dead generator. Okay, so it seems as instructor operations station capabilities on failing systems being shown. Let me get back to wriggle for slipping and skidding turns. I will use, yeah, okay. I will use direct. November. Enter, activate. Okay. And let's say we are using G1000 and let's see. AHRS system fail as well, red cross now. Back to normal. We can invoke failures of GPS. Back to normal. We can use an option to repair all. There is another option at instructor's operation station right here. And at this time then we will have MFD back as well as alternator. Let's test it. All right, repair all, 27.5 volts. We are good. So slipping and skidding is what I have left to cover. I will do that in just 2.5 minutes. At this time we will be approaching 58 November from southwest. We will be joining left downwind runway 31. And turning base to final, I will be using too much left rudder in order to demonstrate skidding. Recover and then slip forwards to land is what I plan to do. I will descend 1,500 feet for traffic pattern altitude. Airport in sight. I intentionally flying a little too fast in order to show, let's say, overshooting turning to final. Left downwind 3-1. We can see airport to the left. Alright, I need to lose speed and gain little altitude before turning to base. Okay, 1,500 feet. Speed 100 knots. 2,000 RPM. Trim accordingly. Turning left base. Let's do skidding. And here we have skid and turn. Recover. Let's get a little too fast, too high before turning base to final. Let's simulate too fast, too high, overshooting final. And helping with the left rudder. And this is how we go down. Recover. From this position, I will position myself on the final for forward slip to land demonstration. Too slow, airspeed. Okay, there is runway 3-1. We would be approaching 3-1. 100 knots. 1,000 feet. We are too fast. Power to idle. Forward slip to land. I will lose some airspeed. Try to maintain extended center runway line. Speed under 80. Flaps 20. Okay, so that was obviously too fast, too high. We're not making it. Recover from forward slip. And it is a go around. Full power. Positive rate. Flaps 10. Flaps 0. VY. Okay, left downwind runway 3-1. Airport to the left. I beam the numbers. 1500 RPM. RPM. White arch, flaps 10. Left base, runway 31, wriggle traffic. Maintain RPM. Trim. Again, I will try to position myself a little too high, too fast, but this time for successful demonstration of forward slip to land. Final. Overshot it a little bit. Alright, little too fast, little too high. Flaps 20. Power idle. Forward slip to land. Maintain extended center line. Full left rudder. Recover. Aerodynamic braking along with the brakes. Okay. Wriggle traffic, Skyhawk 2844 Quebec, back taxiing runway 31, wriggle traffic. And well, that seems to be it. I believe I cover everything from the functions and maneuver checklist, advisory circular 61-136 Bravo. Please let me know if anything else needed to be recorded in order to show full capabilities of JETSTREAM ATD model FOXTROT. Meanwhile, I will taxi it back to the gas pump. Wriggle traffic, Skyhawk 2844 Quebec, cleared active runway. 1000 RPM. Flaps up. Handbrake off, continue to the gas pump. Avoid hitting hangars with the wing. And here is a gas pump. That's where 180 degrees visual system helps a lot. All right, handbrake engaged. Good. I will keep it running for just now. Hi, I'm Alex Bykov with JETSTREAM ATD model FOXTROT. I believe this is it for the video presentation. I hope that I showed everything you need for evaluation of this advanced aviation training device.
I did my best to demonstrate functions and maneuvers checklist as an advisory circular 61-136B. If there would be any further questions or comments, or if there is anything else I can provide and show you to prove all the capabilities and that JETSTREAM ATD model FOXTROT meets and exceeds requirements for AC 61-136B, please let me know. I would be happy to provide necessary information, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you for your attention, for your time, and thank you. Have a great day.